All right, hello, welcome everybody to another morning stream. It's been a event-filled weekend. The showcases happened this past weekend, so we have some results coming in and some pretty surprising results at that. So we're gonna be starting the stream talking about those results for sure, and then we're gonna be playing a couple of leagues with AmuLIT. They are still like the results really show the basically the omnipresence of Heliod and aggressive decks, be it Dead Shadow style decks or more Swift Spear based decks. You know, a little bit more aggressive and low to the ground. So we're gonna go through the results very quickly, and then we're going to be playing a couple of leagues. So number one, these are the results from the Showcase Challenge. I didn't play in this event because I was already qualified, but there are a couple of very interesting things. First of all, like Niv Mizzet just won the whole thing, which is kind of hilarious and kind of awesome at the same time. This is not a deck that we've really seen a lot of, honestly, particularly because this deck was kind of hit by Udo on the, like a little bit on the, what is the word, like a salvo, like just like, you know, he basically got hated out a little bit for no real reason, which is kind of weird, but I don't know the phrase in English, but de rebote it would be in Spanish. But yeah, so with the banning of Uro, this deck was actually pretty reliant on Uro because it really needs to make sure that both it hits its land drops and life gain is super important for this kind of deck. Challenge results how AmuLIT decks with Fear Adventurous Impulse do better. Yeah, the best number of Adventurous Impulse is 0, Thagia, so you probably have figured that out. You're very smart, so you're also very smart because you've been with us, a member of the Primetime Stronghold for 17 months at this point. Thank you so much. Collateral damage, there you go. Thank you so much, Juan. That's exactly what I meant to say. This got some collateral damage, which is interesting. One thing that I want to point out, which I find hilarious, is how the 80 card deck just play 32 lands, which is the same amount of lands that AmuLIT lists would play. Even less if we count Turn Timber, so which we should count Turn Timber, so it's 34 lands. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, so this deck actually got there in the event all the way to the top. So super cool to see. This is the kind of deck that I think are great in Modern and really showcase the possibilities that the format offers. You know, this obviously is a deck where Red 6 is probably the most important card in the entire deck in order to, you know, make sure that you get your mana fixed. Omnath still very, very good in this kind of shell, and you know, 80 cards in order to make room for your Sky Nomad, and then you can blink your Nemesis, your Omnats, and your Abundant Growth and whatnot. So very cool to see this deck take the whole event. And as I kind of spoil a little bit, AmuLIT got second place. The list right here is fairly straightforward. 34 lands counting Turn Timbers, 1 copy of the Adventurous Impulse, which is probably a waste of a slot. This would probably be a lot better off being an Azusa, but who am I to say, really? And yeah, the rest of the whole thing is pretty stock. Only 3 basics, which I don't love. I wish this list had 1 more basic in it, probably instead of the second fetch land. Right now, I'm just super high on basics. I think that basics are very, very relevant. Valkyrie Giving to Light is fun. Yeah, that's actually a good question. The Cascade rules got fixed, but Bring to Light can still fetch and cast the other side of Valky. So very unfortunate that I don't get to see, you know, the pictures, because, you know, the Wizards website is weird sometimes. Like, for example, we can't see Turn Timber Symbiosis. Who knows why? But yeah, Trackers, Dismember, Radiant Fountain. One thing that this list doesn't have, which I thought was interesting, and I'm starting to think that it's correct, is Hornet Queen. Unfortunately, I just think that I don't know. I'm not feeling Hornet Queen, honestly. It feels like it's not very good at doing the thing that you want it to do, and it's even in matchups that where I used to be comfortable bringing Hornet Queen in and I was happy to do so, like for example John or whatnot, it just feels like it just doesn't do enough. And cards like Ren 6, Maelstrom Pulse, etc. really make it so, even Plague Engineer, even make it so I am not particularly high on Hornet Queen right now. So I think that I just don't like playing Hornet Queen in my sideboard, so probably not gonna be seeing the Queen very often anymore, which is sad. It's always a sweet card, and I thought it was a sweet tech back in the day, back in the Fate Reforged Pro Tour days, but I just don't think it has been able to stand the test of time. What we're going to see here is the domination of Heliod decks. Heliod decks did really, really well with this event, and I still think that Heliod is just the best deck in the format. This, in my opinion, is just the best thing you could be doing, and I think that if you wanted to, if you only cared about winning, and you didn't care about, you know, like why you're playing the deck or fun or any of those other aspects of gameplay in Magic, I think that you should just be playing Heliod. It just seems like it's doing the most powerful thing out of all the decks, and it's doing it the best and the most consistently. So I think that Heliod is the best deck in the format. Some people are like, I think that that's why people are playing Tron. Apparently Tron has a very good Heliod matchup because it doesn't care about infinite life, and it has a bunch of ways of disrupting whatever their Heliod opponent is doing. So basically it fights on an axis that the Heliod deck kind of struggles to fight in. Cards like Oblivion Stone are really, really rough for the Heliod deck, but yeah. Burn also makes another appearance, and Blue Red Prowess. These are what I was saying about the aggressive style decks that I was talking about earlier that I think have been doing really well in the event. So just solid aggressive decks of two different types. One is more burn spell heavy, the other one is more creature heavy. Just pretty straightforward. Respect the Cat, playing this is a list that I have actually played against this opponent a couple of times. It's basically just taxes but with Yorion. So it has like Oath of Nissa and random things like that to get value from Yorion, Eternal Witness, etc. I honestly struggle to believe that this is better than just playing mono white taxes. Like I honestly don't really see the appeal to the green cards. The green cards seem like they are just worse than just playing a 60 card deck that's gonna see Vile more often. But you know, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea about this. And Respect the Cat I think it's a very good taxes player. So. And then another Heliod deck, of course. The only difference between all of these Helios lists are these Heliod lists are these Utopia Sprawls versus more Dorks. The list that actually got third was playing just Noble Hierarchs and Birds of Paradise instead of playing the Arbor Elf Utopia Sprawl engine. So that's kind of interesting. I honestly have no idea which one's better. I mean, one of them gets to hit off more companies. I don't know. Then we have Sam Pardee, who actually took AmuLIT to 9th place, so he got 9th of Breakers. I think he went X and 2. And his list is just also pretty straightforward overall. Just the second impulse over the second turn Timber that we saw earlier, which I also think it's just bad, but it's fine. But yeah. Interesting results for sure. Like 2 AmuLIT decks in the top 16 after not seeing AmuLIT for the longest time. Like a bunch of Taxes deck and a bunch of Heliod decks. We even see more Heliods in the top 16. One Eldrazi Tron just getting in there, and Tom Ross with Yawgmoth. So it might be a good time to be playing stuff like Limbala or cards like that. Definitely an interesting thing to think about. Pardee himself admitted that playing Impulse is a mistake. Yeah, I saw his tweet. He tweeted that it's just bad. It's just awful. Lots of infinite life around Hive-Minded is. Well, you can't really, right? Because they can just pay for their pacts. So you don't really beat infinite life with Hive-Mind. They just pay for pack. Unless you have like, you can set up a situation where you can Hive-Mind them before they have access to 8 mana, or you make them pay for like 3 or 4 pacts. Because even if they're playing Noble Hierarch and Burst of Paradise, they can just pay for the blue, or they can just name blue with Utopia Sprawl and they untap it with Arbor Elf. Like it's just really easy for them to beat Hive-Mind. The best answer for AmuLIT against Green White Heliod company. That's a good question. One thing that we've been talking about with Jose, which I haven't tested yet, but maybe it's something that I can actually try out today. Like I was going to play this list, but now that I'm actually talking about this, I kind of want to try this out. So we're gonna put 1 Emrakul in the sideboard. The idea is you hardcast the Emrakul. You hardcast the Emrakul against the deck. Then you You start attacking them, you leave them with no permanents. On the turn, you always want to make sure that you're saving up a Dryad, and then you can use Dryad plus Valakut to kill your own Emrakul just to shuffle your deck, and then eventually you just never deck this way, and then you can eventually just get there with through the Infinite Life. So yeah, I guess I kind of want to try that out today. So let's do that actually. But yeah, I guess we're going to... Let's talk about the challenge first. More Heliod deck. Again, this was Heliod's weekend. Like, I don't think there's any arguments there. More blue-red prowess. Ryan getting Dredge in there. Good job. More Taxes deck. The presence of Taxes decks really surprises me, but I guess it kind of makes sense, right? If everybody is playing Heliod decks and everybody is just trying to play this kind of combo deck, the deck with multiple answers to that kind of stuff, like Apparition and having access to Path to Exile and even Revokers in the sideboard, like it's probably gonna be fine against that kind of strategy. Like you're gonna be able to figure out a way to make them stumble, and then you can slowly but surely start grinding them down, and your grindy elements are a lot more powerful than the Heliod decks grindy elements. How to kill Emrakul? You use Valakut triggers. Just play a bunch of lands. Why Emrakul instead of Kozilek? Because Emrakul just... Annihilator 6 is better than Annihilator 4, basically. That's the reason. Would it help the mill matchup too? It would, but yeah. Link to the article. Which article? This one? You can just Google Magic Online deck lists, and you're gonna get sent to this website, and you can find all of that there. This is kind of surprising, honestly. Like Infect, all of a sudden, just Infect showing up here, getting a top 8. With the omnipresence of burn decks and prowess decks, I have no idea how somebody managed to sneak into a top 8 with Infect. This deck seems very poorly positioned. It seems good against Heliod, so I'll definitely say that. Now, your opponent can get Infinite Life, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. but yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would want to play Infect right now, but sure, whatever. This is cool though. Some slivers sneaking in there, very nice. And yeah, finally, Shadow decks I think are very good right now. For whatever reason, Jund has been the flavor of choice right now. I've seen versions that are more straightforward like this one, and then I've seen versions that play like Ren and 6 and that are a little bit more mid-rangey. So people are really messing around with Jund Shadow style decks instead of the classic red-black versions that we had seen before. I honestly have no idea why, and I don't really think that Tarmogoyf really offers that much. I honestly don't even know why, like Veil of Summer maybe? Is that a good reason? Maybe it's because of Heliod and just 2 Unravel the Ether, but like messing your mana for 2 Unravel the Ether seems kind of meh. I don't know. I have no idea. And then there's the rest, like some random freaking Tron decks and more prowess, etc. So nothing too surprising about their results. Definitely, it's cool to see the omnipresence of Heliod. Like, the metagame seems to be starting to be a little bit more focused. So now we just really know what the pillars of the format are. Like, before we would see random people just, always playing their pet deck and then managing to getting good results. But now we're really starting to see the decks that are making it to the top of the format. So like the tier 0 decks are indisputably Heliod and the prowess variants. Like, I think that's pretty much just the way that things are. And then you have like burn and shadow decks and stuff like that. And maybe on tier 1.5 we find stuff like AmuLIT, Tron and whatnot. So definitely it's better particularly for a deck like AmuLIT whenever we know what we are gonna target and what we have to beat. It's a lot more straightforward. I think that having a plan for Heliod is gonna be particularly important though. Like, this deck is just very, 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 very good. So that's what we've got as far as modern results. As far as Legacy goes, Delver just continues to dominate. I played in this event. I quickly 0-2 dropped, But yeah, still Delver and Painter and mono red decks were the ones that did the best. I am very surprised to see Painter. Apparently, the Painter player went 9-0 through the Swiss, which is very, very, very cool. But yeah, we also have like a bunch. This really surprised me. Like a bunch of turn one like Blood Moon, just like Chalice Stompy style decks. Two Tally Stompy's decks made it to the top 8, which I thought was very cool. I had not seen Chalice Stompy decks getting in the air in a while, so very cool, very cool. The other were just like just control decks. This one's the standstill version. The other one is more Miracles E. I don't want to spend too much talking about Legacy E, but I just thought that it was cool to mention that. All right, so now we're talking about this. Join League. And we're going to view the deck. So this is the list that we're going to be playing today. Again, we're trying out the Emrakul tech, where I'm still interested in trying out the Spider. Again, it makes sense in theory. I'm still not sure whether this is actually reasonable or it's just some nice theory crafting and not really too much else. But it seems interesting enough for me to want to give it another shot. Definitely not sold on this, but you're going to notice that I just cut the Hornet Wing straight up. I just don't want to worry about that anymore. But the main deck has been very nice. I didn't want to touch the main deck. We talked about how Gracer versus Stacy. Stacy being just overall better card. And then Gracer just being better against the aggressive deck. So Jose was messing around with a list that played 4 Stacys and then played Gracers in the sideboard, which I think is an interesting concept. I think that it's kind of a waste of a couple of sideboard slots. So I'd rather just, like right now, I just think that Gracer is arguably better positioned, but I don't know. Can you get a pound, Ivan? Of course you can. There you go. Boom. What is the Emrakul tech? So using Emrakul in order to beat infinite life. By just hardcasting the Emrakul, getting to a point where you can just hardcast the Emrakul even if your opponent has infinite life, then you attack it with them, you attack them with it, and you basically get them back to nothing. And whenever they have no permanence, you eventually just kill your own Emrakul using Valaka triggers, and then you can just not mill, basically. That's the idea. So we're gonna Emrakul DA on Storm. Boom. Deck list has been updated. For whatever reason, I can't update Cardboard Live, which is weird. The app, the extension is just crashing on me, so I'm not gonna be able to update it, but it's fine. Huh, interesting hand. I guess I'm keeping. Mostly on the strength of Castle, honestly. Sounds either insane or genius. It's just theory crafting, honestly. I don't know if it will actually work. I think I'm just gonna play out the Castle here. Because if we find an AmuLIT, obviously it's gonna be a lot better to hold on to the Semi-Growth Chamber. So, I might pact in for Azusa here. Because if we pact for Azusa, that guarantees Titan mana on the following turn. Oh, Tekage. Okay, I'm not pacting for Azusa. Don't try to make me pact for Azusa, because I will lose, okay? So don't do it. Why would they just... That's just such a bad play, right? Why, if you're gonna go get Tekage, why would you do that main phase? My opponent could have literally won the game if I had gone for the Azusa Pact. I guess they wouldn't have, because I could just, like... No, yeah, I mean, I would have probably just played out the bounce land at this point. Because I think it may be the correct thing to be doing, so... Bingo. At this point, it's just not worth it, right? I'm just gonna chill here. If my opponent spends their turn to take edge. It doesn't really do anything. When in doubt, add another land to the list. List needs more lands. What you gonna do, opponent? Sure. I could back for Azusa in order to do something like that, but you know, I can just do this. And pacting for Azusa gets got by a removal spell, so there's obviously no reason for me to do it. This is unfortunately not lethal because of the Eldrazi Scion token. Though I guess we can technically... Oh, we can just double Titan. Yeah, that seems better. So, Colony Garden and... Sanctuary. I guess it just doesn't matter. It literally just doesn't matter. What's up? Been moving to less and less turn timber. Feel free to ignore if you've answered in podcast or something. Not really. It's mostly a matter of how many actual cards do you want to fit, like how many actual lands do you want to fit, and which lands do you want to fit. And I think that just playing, like right now we are kind of covering a bunch of our bases with our lands, but in the end, turn timber is just a green source, right? Like this is basically a forest that can become a Titan, maybe or maybe not. So it's just fine to, like, it's not a great card is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a fine card. It's okay. You will play it. But I don't think it's particularly better than just playing, you know, your forests or having access to more utility lands like Vestiges and Ghost Quarters, Radiant Fountain. Like, you could just move Bog to the sideboard and make room for more turn timbers. You could just, cut Engineer Explosives for more lands. I've been liking having access to the 1 explosives in the main deck, but you can definitely play more lands if you wanted to. I'm playing 33 in the main deck right now. You can definitely play more. Is bringing Everquell a good idea versus control? I would, yeah. I would bring it versus control, but I wouldn't bring it versus mid-range decks. You counter Timber as a land? Yes. Turn Timber is not a spell. Seems like a fine keep. Turn 4 Titan. So the best draw is Explore. Because Explore allows me to play the Ghost Quarter. Yeah, we probably have to Ghost Quarter here because it's gonna be rough to beat. Turn 3 Tron. But now that they didn't get the missing Tron piece, I'm just gonna let them untap. If they have they just have the, of course, they just have the tower in hand. Why wouldn't they have the tower in hand already, right? Like, what was I even thinking? What was I even thinking? Why would I ever think that my E-Tron opponent wouldn't just have the natural Tron in hand? It's my bad, Chad. It's my bad. It's my bad. Sounds good. I mean, if we top deck at prime time, we're fine, right? Prime time or Puck does it. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think I'm keeping this. Sure. Sure thing. I wonder if my opponent's gonna do the same thing again, and they're gonna leave me with the tireless tracker. They're gonna take the tracker and they're gonna leave me with the Azusa. The pick here is obviously Azusa, yeah. Gonna have to play our tracker out here. Because if my opponent plays a Planeswalker, I want to make sure that I can pressure it. Sure. All right. Of course. Some classic Eldrazi Tron plays here. We can transmute. QR Code Killer, welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Thank you for your Prime subscription. Thank you for supporting the stream. We can cycle. I really want to grow the tracker so my opponent can't just use Thought Knot here. So I think I'm just gonna grow the tracker. And we can draw into Grazer, so I want to grow the tracker right now. Grazer would be great. Never lucky. Crash sometimes parallel block, didn't get Old School Treatment, I think only Lotus Bloom. I'm gonna block your Thought Knots here. Yep, definitely trading here. Not bad. Oh, come on, really? Holy fuck. Alright. Turn 2 Thought Knot, turn 3 Smasher, turn 4 Thought Knot. Sounds good, sounds good. Sounds good. So I think I just have to play the Sage and just have to hope that my opponent doesn't have anything, and then we can pact for Titan next turn, and we hope that that's good enough. It's not a great plan, but my opponent's hand was obviously the absolute nuts, so we have to go with the high risk, high reward line. Ratchet Bomb. So with that Arboreal Gracer draw, so I guess we're finding Bounce Land plus Crumbling Vestige. Is that better? We die to Dismember, we die to second Reality Smasher. Yeah, I think we have to do this. We're gonna bounce Radiant Fountain. Then we Gracer. And we play the Fountain. So now they get to blow up the Gracer. I'm dead to Ballista anyway, so I'm not playing around that. Natty Tron, of course. We're gonna have a Noggin minus in prime time for lethal. No. Again, so we're dead to Ballista anyway, so I'm just gonna block here. Two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get 5 mana here. So they should probably name Tolere West, I guess. Our best draw is Dryad. Spyglass seems real bad in this matchup. It's not terrible, actually. I wouldn't play it in my deck, but like it's not unplayably bad. If we draw another Pact or we draw a Dryad, I think I'm gonna be fairly comfortable. Ghost Squatter? Yeah, that's the wrong thing to name. I can't lethal. Second Valakut is nothing. So if we attack... Oh, did he just fuck this up? No, I didn't. Why no Boris Garrison last turn? Because I needed to pay for my pact and I wanted to transmute. I attack Radiant Fountain, Bounce Land. We attack Bounce Land plus Pact. We play Asusa. Bounce Land plus Hilarious, I mean. We play Asusa. We have Bounce Land plus Radiant Fountain. I think we just have to dodge another turn, which is not where I want to be. But we used our Gracer already. Yeah, I can get Dryad and I get Dryad and then I die to the Smasher. Bounce Land plus Garden gets me an attack. How's that? Smasher has trample. I think we just have to play our land and say go. I think we just have to play our land and say go. And if we untap, we're gonna win. And if my opponent finds any way to answer my Primeval Titan or to straight up kill me. So we die to Karn, we die to Ballista. Thought Knot doesn't do anything. Second Smasher also kills me. Dismember kills me. Like, we die to a bunch of things. We die to a whole bunch of things. We die to a whole bunch of things. Which is not where I want to be, but it is what it is. If we untap, we straight up win, though. All this dust kills me. Sweet. So I guess we win now. Explore to get some extra info first. Transmute for Dryad. My opponent can't have any removal spell for Dryad, because any removal spell for Dryad would have killed me, so this should be clean. This should just be clean. All right, sweet. Got there. Grosse Russe, your line implies that the Stellaire West would be in my hand, and that's just not the case. I would need to use a land drop to get the Stellaire West to my hand before attacking with Titan, and that means that I wouldn't have mana to play the Dryad, because I would have already made my land drop. So your line just doesn't work. Can you go through why the Excavator in the sideboard? It's just a good card against Tron and decks where your Ghost Quarter is good, and it's a good card in matchups where they are going to be destroying your lands. That's why. Against stuff like Taxes, against stuff like Tron, Jaunt, etc. ¿Y el Emrakul? El Emrakul es específicamente para Heliod. The Emrakul specifically for Heliod. The theory is that your opponent gains infinite life, you just keep playing the game, you hardcast your Emrakul, you get an extra turn, you attack them, you get your Annihilator 6 triggers, you basically make sure that they go all the way back to 0 permanents. Once they have no permanents left, you kill your own Emrakul with a Dryad, and that way you get to shuffle your deck, and you make your opponent deck themselves. Javon with the raid. Thank you so much. Feels bad, man. So let's play AmuLIT here. Then Castle. Then Explore. And we did find a land, so I guess that we can just throw this in there. I was going to hold the Vestige for next turn because the Vestige represented enough mana to Titan. We're playing against Yugo, which is a known what deck is this? Known Storm player. They have the remand. Yep. Okay, we'll try again tomorrow. We will try again tomorrow. By tomorrow, of course, I mean next turn, but we probably might not get a next turn, I would imagine. We do, so I guess we're just getting remanded again here. Yep. Not much that we can do when they have a double remand hand. It's just what it is. You basically just have to hope that you draw your Cavern of Souls, but it is what it is. This is why Storm is a bad matchup, right? We don't really have much in the way of interaction. Yu is not gonna mess this up. I'm just gonna pack it in. Just not waste our time. This is good, this is good, this is good. Cavern is good. I always consider Rex Sage because of Aria of Flame. No interaction, slow Titan. Not good enough. Yes, interaction, but slow Titan, so it doesn't work. Yes, interaction, slow Titan, but yes, interaction, so it's fine. Keep this, bottom that, and bottom... Nope, 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 not that one. Bottom that for sure, and I guess I'm gonna bottom the Summoner's Pact? Sounds crazy, but I think it's the correct thing to do. Like, the Explorer is the better card here. We are on the play, so we're gonna be able to dismember them next turn, and we only need to find one Primeval Titan. I don't need to be holding up Dismember this turn. It's a terrible draw. Really, really bad draw. Obnoxiously bad draw. Maybe not so bad. We're missing a land drop though. Okay. Just gonna pass the turn here. Because I can just play a Titan and then you go untaps and just kills me. So, well, the difference now is that I get to untap and I get to hold up Dismember. So obviously this is gonna be a lot better. They could have Aethergast though. Aethergast could be a problem, but it looks like they don't. So here we're gonna get T-West and Growth Chamber. Gifts of the ungiven variety. So even if they kill my primetime here, we're kind of fine. We have a second primetime set up for next turn. So Remand to the bin, and Morphos to the bin. Not much we could have done here, so this is just kind of what it is. If they have the remand for the Dismember, game is obviously over. But So they have a bunch of mana now. Are we dead anyway? It's kind of gross, honestly. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna be in the grape shot. So they can't remand it. I'm just dead now, right? They just make it to 19 Storm. So they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana with double Metamorphose. Yeah, I'm just dead. Like, it just doesn't matter. Tried our best. Wasn't enough against Storm. Holy shit, they knew they had it so quickly. That's impressive. Yeah, this is probably one of the best Storm players in the world. When you try your best and you don't succeed. Wow. That's the coldest play I've ever heard. But the only one who does it paying you just a very tiny bit to let the Vestige mana go to waste. Yeah. Always feels bad. Does the streamer have a command for his green-white deck? Just wanted to know if he had something automated for his thoughts on it. I mean, that's why I stream, and that's why all my VODs get uploaded to YouTube. So you can find all the gameplay in there. I think it needs a lot of work, but I think it's potentially good. This hand's just too slow. This hand's a lot better. What am I doing here? I think I bottomed the Castle Garenbrig. So I'm gonna go turn 1, this, our Royal Gracer. Turn 2, we're going to have 3 lands plus Explore, so we're gonna get to bounce this in the Growth Chamber. Yeah, I think this is fine. We're also on the draw. It's good for us because that means burn instead of prowess, which is a lot better for us. That's a lot of Swiss Spears though. Try it. Try it right here. Asusa. So they probably have to use a removal spell on the Asusa. Which is nice. It's a good place to put the prowess player. Put them in a spot where they have to use removal on your creature that you already got some pretty solid value from, but no cards in hand. Explosives off the top. Explosives. Literally dead on board. No, they were not. They were not dead. Como labura el Grazer en el meta actual, no sé cómo algunos prefieren Sakurita con el meta como está ahora. Sí, a mí me parece que el Grazer está mejor en este meta específicamente. Lo que pasa es que el Sakura es mejor carta, ¿no? El Sakura es mejor carta. Entonces es como que es preferible jugar el Sakura si todas las cosas son iguales, digamos. Sin factores externos, el Sakura es mejor. Pero el Grazer me parece que está mejor en el meta de ahora. Está muy agresivo el meta. No Hornet Queen? No, I think Hornet Queen is just unplayable. Can I just say the fact that it's called Sakurita is amazing? El Sakurita. El Sakurita. So, I guess this is actually a turn 4 virtual kill. So I'm gonna keep it. If we were on the play, I would mulligan this though. Still not sure whether I want to take damage or not, so just gonna chill on this. It's not a good draw. Not a good draw. Eidolon would be very good here for them. Yep. Sucks. Taking 4 from this Eidolon kind of sucks. The good thing is that now this is lethal, right? This. Smash to smithereens. I'll block you. Is that lethal? It is, right? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 lands in play. We Summoner's Pact, Valakut plus land. Yeah, that's enough. We go down to 6, but it just doesn't matter. Now the question is, do I want to double bounce land? If I double bounce land, we get left with 3 lands, and then I guess it just doesn't make a difference, right? It just allows me to get Valakut, but it just doesn't matter to get Valakut. This is just fine. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Crumbling Vestige, Slayer Stronghold. Red, white, haste. Serve, yes. Valakut, Valakut. On the draw, Force is interesting because of both Eidolon and Roiling Vortex. Being able to answer Eidolon for 0 mana is kind of a big deal. 0 mana and 0 damage, by the way. On the play, we can get under the Eidolon fairly easily, as we just saw, but on the draw, getting under the Eidolon is a lot tougher. Yeah, this answer is great. The best thing we can possibly draw is a Radiant Fountain. Because it's not bad either, huh? Now the question is, do I play this out or not? My opponent showed me Smash to Smithereens in the previous game, so there's no real reason to enable it. I'm definitely blocking here. Easiest block of my life. Oh. Well, that answers the question. That answers the question. And that's why we have a command here. And that's why we have a command here. Both teams played hard. Both teams played hard. It was a fair fight. It was a fair fight. It's infuriating to be on the other end of this, but it's hilarious to be watching it. Yeah. Why no kill? I mean, why yes kill, you mean? And then Summer Plums. Easy peasy lemon squeezy Maria Lisi con Lisi Daisy Emilio Lisi. That was fun. That was fun. Is the current no nonsense list? No, I'm still trying some stuff. I'm not sure about the Emrakul and I'm not sure about the Spider. But I basically know for a fact that I don't want to be playing Hornet Queen. I kind of want to keep this in, but this is just a trap. We have so much mana though. This is just so slow. It's great against control. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna get paired against an aggro deck and I'm gonna be really sad. This sounds very good against discard spells though. Heliod? Oh, we're dead. We're so dead. Yep, we're super dead. Unless we draw specifically AmuLIT right now. Also, I should have named Beast. But I think that we're just dead, so I'm just not really caring too much about what's going on. I really want to just pack it in here. Just not show my opponent what I'm playing. So we can probably win that game, but I think that there is some value in not showing our opponents what we're up to. We get to try out the Emrakul tech. Hell yeah. Sage is weird. I think I don't want Sage. Emrakul is take against Heliod. How? Because we get to beat Infinite Life thanks to Emrakul. They know you're not a human is not know thy enemy. It could be donation list. I don't know. No, el pacto azul es medio flojo. Convea muy rápido para poder sacarle provecho al pacto azul. Está bien, o sea, no está mal, pero como tenemos el Emrakul, me parece que si no nos volvemos demasiado reactivos y no podemos hacer un game plan sólido, ¿me entendés? So I'm talking about how I don't think that if we're bringing in the Emrakul, like the Pact of Negation seems like a little bit redundant. Who knows? Who knows? How does Emmy beat Infinite Life? You attack them, you leave them with no permanent. Whenever you want, you use Dryad plus Valakut to kill your own Emrakul, you shuffle your graveyard, and you can never deck yourself. Sensuke. Emrakul is both a cyber taking as mill and Infinite Life, super hot. Yeah, that's the concept. I'm not sure still whether it's great or it's just stupid. It's either or. It's either great or very stupid, and I'm not sure which one just yet. Technically, we do run out of land drops. I mean, we played 10 bounce lands, so I don't know how you're gonna run out of land drops if you just bounce the same bounce land over and over again. Rough. Bounce land. Bounce land one time. Children are both great and stupid at the same time. Sure. Then you have to play 5 lands to kill it, kind of complicated. I mean, I think that you are underestimating how easy it is for us to put all of that together. It really isn't hard for us to put all of that together. Bounce land? Okay. I didn't even want to cast spells anyway, opponent. Joke's on you. Joke's on you. I didn't even want to cast spells anyway. Holding on to this because it's 3 green sources, right? So this just represents Titan mana next turn. Oh, we can just hard cast a Titan too. That's also a good idea. Green. What's up, Bubon in Cindy? I like how you're literally every streamer chat that I watch. Because both of you folks are smart, so you watch the good streamers, you know? So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get a bounce land. I mean, we have triple amulet, like this is just... They can't cast Mind Sensor, and even if they did, I would just dismember it, so... Quality streams and shit, exactly. ¿Cómo dirías que es el mejor matchup de AmuLIT y el peor cuando tengas tiempo? Aricia, el mejor es probablemente algo como Boggles en ese plan. Boggles es básicamente un buy. ¿Qué más es un buy para AmuLIT hoy en día? Tron es bueno, pero puedes perder. Eldrazi Tron también es bueno, pero puedes perder. Soul Sisters no podés perder, básicamente. Y el peor es 1000. 1000 es muy difícil. Casi imposible de ganar 1000. No cervezas, por favor. That's where my Spanish begins and ends. I mean, do you ever really need to say anything else? I heard Mill. Yeah, Jason. We are talking about AmuLIT's best and worst matchups. The best one, I think it's probably Boggles, and the worst one is Mill. If I had to choose like only one, there are a couple of them, you know? There are a couple of just like good matchups and they're just like very bad matchups, but if I had to choose one and one, I would say it's probably the best one, Boggles, and the absolute worst one, Mill. No me gusta Mill. Emrakul bueno por Mill. Me gusta Emrakul. Good job, Aprilo. Good job. That's what I figured too, exactly. Is the best one Bulbous because they're just playing bad solitaire and you're just playing good solitaire? Well, I mean, we're playing main deck copies of a GW Explosive, which is probably the single best card in the format against Boggles. And we can literally transmute for it, so... Yeah, this is not a card I want in my opener. This is a great sample hand. This is a great sample hand. Immediately followed by this sample hand. We're really seeing the power of AmuLIT right here. Buboni Cindy gifting a tier 1 sub to Shmersensky. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold and thank you for the support, Bubon. El Neo Brando se ha ido. Exactly. Took like a year Spanish. Oh. But now we can beat your silly infinite life nonsense. Ha. I mean, we're probably gonna die to infinite life just the same, but... At least it's fun to not be just straight up dead to it. Now, we're pretty dead to it, but not straight up dead to it. Really? This is your basics choice opponent? You couldn't do better than this? Oh, man. We're just about to be very sad here, right? Where my opponent's gonna force me to chump block because... Oh, I guess that if they don't have the combo, we win. So that's nice, at least. Don't have Heliod. Just don't have Heliod. Don't do it. Damn it. Well, the problem here is that it's not just infinite... It's not just infinite life, it's actually infinite damage as well because they have the Conclave Mentor. So that really sucks. We could have beaten infinite life, but we cannot beat infinite damage because they just stuck all of the dudes, all of the thing here, then they start moving counters around. We're actually just dead here. Rough. Freakunasti, thank you for the follow. It's going well, Rodeo-san. It is. We're not doing particularly great here, but it's okay. Having a good time. Do you think AmuLIT is in a good spot for modern, or the green-white battle tenure you declare is better for now? I don't think. Like, I think the green-white deck actually has potential. I don't think we have seen the best version of the deck. It's a lot of fun though. RIP, time to play Eldrazi Tron? Fuck no. Embercool didn't work? Yeah, unfortunately that one just killed me. They had a better combo than the combo. What was the crazy Heliod tech you were talking about on Titan Talk besides Embercool? Well, besides Embercool? Did I say anything besides Embercool? When I went to Argentina, I had guinea pig on stick and it was delicious. Guinea pig on stream, on a stick. Where were you at? Because that's not something that you can find easily on the city, in the city. Really excited, just got the necessary record in the mail today. Oh, nice, sweet. What was the reason to be fun kind of 10 timber for a 4th Dryad? Dryad is good. That's the reason. Sure. Let's skip this hand. I'm gonna go turn 1 AmuLIT here as opposed to turn 1 Gracer. We're playing against the Lurrus deck, so my opponent could be playing discard spells. But they're playing Mill, so we're super fucked. Alright, we can luck sack this. We can actually luck sack this. We need to find the Primeval Titan now. Like right now. So I'm gonna go for it. If it's a Summoner's Pact, I'm still gonna go for it. Oh wow. How unlucky can a person be, honestly? Gross. That makes me so sad. That makes me so very sad. That makes me so very sad. Mill is back in the menu. Yeah, people have been trying out Mill. I think the deck is very powerful. Like, having access to 8 Hedron Crabs is kind of messed up. Alright. No prime times have been milled. So if we find the Primeval Titan off the top. Ha, they did have the Surgical. They're taking care of the Valakut. That's fine. I'm not gonna fetch basically because I don't have to. You think you need to have some blue to take full advantage of Emrakul, or do you feel like they normally just extirpate Emrakul? What? Prime time, please. Nope. I'm not fetching on purpose, by the way, in case you were wondering. Is having Emrakul effective without counterspell to fight Surgical? I mean, it kind of is what it is, right? Okay, now there is a Primeval Titan. So if my opponent has a Surgical, I'm just going to pack it in. They don't have Boros, though. God damn it, man. Such an agony. Such a freaking agony. We had a shot. We had a shot. Without the haste land, we just can't really. I could stop my opponent for fetching, but they just get to do the thing again, so it's not a great idea. So we need trackers because my opponent's gonna be surgical in my Emrakul's. Gracer is just a disgrace. You get it? Gracer is a disgrace. It's pretty good, right? Yeah, I know. Rex Sage. This seems okay. Was in San Carlos, Argentina, a little further south of the Andes. My friend has an alpaca farm there. That's awesome, Mark Mulling. It's very cool. Mill is so good it makes me draw badly, yeah. Too good. Too good. What do you think of the bad matchup for the Green White deck you have been playing lately? I mean, I have 20 games under my belt. That's it. So I don't think I have an absolutely great understanding of what's good and what isn't just yet. It's the reason he had carpinchos to it. Never seen that before in Buenos Aires. Carpinchos sounds kind of gross. It's an okay amount of gross, I guess. Blow that shit up. Miss Merrick is awesome against AmuLIT. Yeah, it is. It is the only reason to want to stack your bounce line triggers with an AmuLIT in play in the opposite order that you would normally do it. It's pretty funny. That's fucking devastating, man. Like, that is just so... That is so fucking devastating, man. I can't believe it. I honestly cannot fucking believe it. Alien, thank you for the follow. I'm just destroyed. I am just morally devastated right now. I am morally devastated right now. I don't think anybody, literally dang thing about the follow, I don't think anybody can make me feel better right now. I don't think anybody can make me feel better right now. I think I am just completely destroyed. It's over. It's over. Nexus of Fate versus Emrakul? I mean, it wouldn't be much better, right? I can't cast the Nexus of Fate anyway. And Nexus of Fate doesn't beat Infinite Life like Emrakul does. It's one card out of 66, man. It is one card out of 66. Like... like, you see my face. You see my smile right now, right? You see my smile right now, but I am dead inside currently. I am dead inside. Trying to play high combo to become the mill player? That's probably not the way to do it. Should have kept 69 post board? Yeah, that makes sense. Simek, thank you for continuing your sub. Always nice to see people enjoying the stream and supporting it. I don't think I have anything to say, chat. All I have to say is I'll see you in the next video.